In this episode of the Locked On NBA Big Board Podcast, it is the preseason rookie report, volume 7. And in this episode, we got to talk about the Knicks rookies. They shined in their game against the Hornets, but how much will it actually lead to playing time once the regular season starts? We're also going to talk about Tidjane Salaun, Reed Sheppard, Dalton Knecht caught fire in the fourth quarter, Stephon Castle, Cody Williams, Yves Missi, and AJ Mitchell. So stay tuned to hear James's thoughts on Stephon Castle, who didn't have a big game. I know James is his biggest supporter. I'm going to have a debate with James about Stephon Castle. Stay tuned. Big shout out to each and every person that has made the Locked On NBA Big Board Podcast your first listen of the day. I'm your host, Rafael Barlowe, along with my brother and my co-host, James Barlowe. But before we get into this episode, these episodes have been fun, man. I love covering these rookies in the preseason. I want to let you know that this episode is sponsored by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. And if you are not subscribed to the YouTube channel, please subscribe. The subscriptions have been going crazy the last few days. It's been like 100 so far this week. So if you're not subscribed, please subscribe, like, share, comment, click the bell so you can be notified every time we drop, because we are coming at you with a new episode 5 days a week at the minimum. And also, I just wanted to add, if you're a fan of one of these teams and of the rookie, and you don't see your favorite rookie mentioned in the episode, it's probably because he played the night before. And we're dropping every single day. I had someone ask me, "You guys haven't talked about Tidjane Salaun?" I'm like, "We've talked about him a lot." So, yeah, just check with us every single day. I don't know if we're going to keep it up the whole entire season because we have tons of prospects to talk about as far as college basketball, but we're just excited that there's actual games. But there have been some scrimmages in college basketball that we're going to cover at some point in this week. But let's talk about the New York Knicks rookies. They looked good against the Hornets. I don't know how much of them are going to play, but we'll start off with a guy that you were high on, Pacome Dadiet.
Pacome, listen, you couldn't ask for a better quarter at home in New York. He had 16 points. He scored in every which way possible Pacome can score. He had a cut, drove, kick out, relocated for a three. He did that twice. Made one, missed one, drove baseline, had a dunk, blew by his French homie Tidjane, had a little scoop. I like Pacome a lot. Pacome is going to be in the G League, though, just because I don't see him having any minutes on the wing, on the team loaded with wings. But it's okay because he's young. But shout out to Pacome, man. He got loose.
Yeah, he had a good game. I know the first play, it was, way to get started. And we'll talk about Tidjane Salaun later on, but Tidjane had like a terrible gamble on like the sideline, went for a steal. Pacome he drove and got a dunk on the baseline.
The easiest, most unathletic dunk going baseline.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a terrible gamble by Salaun. But one of the things that he did really well and that you mentioned was he has a knack for relocating, whether it's driving, kicking it, and then getting to the corner. He knows how to get open. And I thought he had really good chemistry with Tyler Kolek, who I'm a big fan of. And I'll talk about Kolek in a second. But yeah, Pacome, I mean, it's hard to imagine having a better debut. He had 16 points, also chipped in 5 rebounds, 1 steal, was 3 of 6 from 3. And I just break down his plays a little bit. He actually made a corner 3 when he got fouled by Taj Gibson. Taj, man, you are the veteran of all veterans, not to foul a corner shooter.
They get them steps in, man.
But there was a play where Kolek drove to the lane, kicked it out to Dadiet. It was a closeout, and he drove right, shot a righty floater. He lost Salaun on cuts to the rim. I feel like at least 3 or 4 of his buckets were on Tidjane. It was like
Think he was talking stuff in French to him?
I mean, to me, as an outsider, it looked like I know this guy, I know his tendencies, and I know that he's going to gamble. I know that he's going to not be engaged all the time. It's like he fully took advantage of already having the scouting report on Tidjane Salaun. But no, I thought he played well again. 16 points, had a steal. I was most impressed with his ability to just get open as far as just relocating. I don't think there's a pathway to minutes this season.
But that's okay because he has, I think, playing in G for Westchester will give him an opportunity to develop his other skills because he can put the ball on the ground a little bit.
Yeah.
Right. And that gives him an opportunity to like play loose, play freely. We see that he can play his role if he's called upon, but I want to see him develop other stuff. So him in the G League it's a great opportunity for him. No
I'm
pressure.
Kind of torn on that though. I'm torn on that because they the G League is hooping, and I think.
But I feel like, I feel like it's okay though because he can play basketball. We see that, right? But he needs to work on his hooping skills because again, he's only 18, 19. I don't feel like there's a problem with him going out there and learning how to hoop because like he shows flashes of being able to put the ball on the ground and create his own shot. All right, cool. Go down there and do it. Let's see if it works. When we do call you back up, your corner boy, Cutter, play high IQ basketball. Like that's okay. I think it's good for him.
All right, let's talk about Tyler Kolek. Flirted with a triple-double, 7 points, 9 assists, 8 rebounds. The shot wasn't falling at all, but I am high on Kolek. I know he was 2 of 9 from the floor, 1 of 6 from 3. I love the way Tyler Kolek plays. The pace, the high IQ, the decision-making, the passing. I'm a big fan of guys that are ambidextrous passers. Kolek was throwing left-hand lobs, live dribble left-hand passes. So far in the preseason, and these are the numbers I pulled, and forgive me if they're not correct, but he has 15 assists and only 3 turnovers. I think out of all of their rookies, I think he has the best opportunity to see some playing time this season because for your backup point guard, you want that guy that's a table setter that's not going to turn over the ball. I think he can knock down open shots, but he knows how to get guys involved. I feel like Ariel Hukporti, a rookie that we're going to talk about next, has greatly benefited from sharing minutes on the floor with Kolek because Kolek is an advanced pick and roll playmaker. But I just love the way he plays, whether it's driving kick passes, passing the ball ahead. I love his pace, his court vision. The term where you see with quarterbacks, he passes guys open. I think you can say that about Kolek. He looked a little bit like Steve Nash. Maybe it was the number 13. Maybe it was the complexion comparison. But it's just far as like the ability to just kind of get where he wants to on the floor with his pace and his ball handling without being like, the greatest athlete. I'm a big Kolek fan. I think, like I said, he has a chance to see some minutes this season.
Yeah, I think he has a chance. I think the jump shot definitely has to improve, though. I think he's kind of an inconsistent shooter. I think his shot is pretty slow, and he's going to have to adjust to the speed of guys closing out to him. But as far as like running a pick and roll, running a team, making plays, he's got that down. He does that at a high level. Like you said, him and Ariel Hukporti have amazing chemistry. I personally think that Kolek is going to be the third point guard. Maybe they find a way to play him and Cameron Payne together. They have been playing together. But, yeah, I think he has a chance because he runs the offense well. He gives you a different look off the bench. And I do think the Knicks are going to have to maybe play a little deeper because they have long-term goals.
I thought the dream scenario for him was Phoenix, but Phoenix, their rookie class has done well. Let's talk about Ariel Hukporti.
Right. He banged on Nick Richards so hard. Yeah. Like, let's get right to that. I don't know if it's because he was left-handed and Richards didn't realize he was left-handed, but that was nasty.
But what was more impressive to me than the actual dunk was how far he caught it.
Yes.
Yeah, it wasn't like it was
Jam stuff.
Yeah, he caught it far. It was a high screen and roll. and he was able to catch it, make a. I don't know if he dribbled once or whatever, but he had a running start to his launching pad.
He got to that launching pad, and
I mean, all of his points were dunks. He had
he dunked on
8
Tidjane
points.
too.
Yeah, he had 8 points, 5 rebounds, a block, was 4 of 6 from the floor, all dunked. And I was saying, I've been watching Hukporti for a while. I think the first time I saw him play was like 2019 on Germany's under-19 team, and he was teammates with Franz Wagner.
So, that's crazy. He looks with that unkept goatee mustache. Yo, man,
he looked a little older then. I'm not saying he's older, but he's a guy that I've just been watching him for a while, and at one point I was high on him, and then I wasn't. I forgot where exactly he went, but there was that one league. Maybe he was playing in Lithuania, and it felt like he was playing like DeMarcus Cousins in a sense. He was trying to show skill. He was facing up. He was shooting. He was jumpers.
In Australia too, yeah.
But in Australia, he played a little bit more like the role that he's playing now, his actual NBA role. I do think that he has a little bit more skill than he's been able to show, but I think it was in Lithuania or somewhere a few years ago before he went to Australia, but he was literally trying to play like DeMarcus Cousins, handle the ball, shoot jumpers, face up. You saw some flashes, but I knew, like, all right, in order for him to get an NBA chance, he's going to have to be a play finisher, rebounder. Then he got hurt in Australia. I think he tore his Achilles. He slimmed down some, and now he's looking like a legitimate, NBA player. At some point, you have to be impressed with what you've seen. I know, for example, it was hard for me to unsee how ugly when he was. I mean, you got to go back and look at the tape, man. He was literally trying to show skill instead of playing the role as a play finisher. But if you're a Knicks fan, you feel like you got a big that's going to be able to provide some depth somewhere down the line, maybe this season, maybe,
Does he take Precious's job?
I don't think so, but he's literally like one pulled hamstring away from seeing some time. So he's definitely been impressive to me as far as what he's shown in limited time. All right, when we return, we're going to talk about Tidjane Salaun. We're going to talk about him, his defense, and, Tidjane being Tidjane. Before we get into the second segment, let's talk about FanDuel. Why? Because FanDuel is America's #1 sports book, and you can start the season with a big return on FanDuel. And when you get a hunch in the middle of the game, you can check out the latest stats. You can view live play-by-play and so much more. And it's on the same page where you place your bets. You'll get started with $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. That's at FanDuel.com. All right, guy that we've talked about pretty consistently. I feel like he's played more games than the other rookies. Tidjane Salaun. What did you think about Tidjane's performance?
I mean, he's shooting 43% from 3 in the preseason. That's great. He started. Maybe they are thinking about starting him. He made one play off the dribble. And I really don't know what he's going to become off the dribble because he's not like super fluid, but he is. But at the same time, if he's going to be Tidjane Bertans out there, then
Michael Porter Jr.
Yeah,
style.
Tidjane Michael Porter Bertans, Ryan Anderson, you'll live with it because he can legit shoot. His shot selection is still an adventure. I know the first play of the game, he shot one from probably like a foot inside the logo on a LaMelo pick and roll 3. I'm like,
I screenshotted it, and so you'll see the graphic if you're watching on YouTube. But yeah, I'm like, first play, and I'm like, it's Tidjane, man.
It's Tidjane.
Uber confident.
We had talked about his defensive lapses that game. That's going to be an adventure. But catching and shooting the ball, he does that at a high level. Is doing that at a high level. Very confident. There's some other stuff that you got to clean up. I think that teams the corner threes that he's getting playing with LaMelo, those are going to be like, that's free money. But in high pick and roll, they're going to definitely chase him off the line and see what he can do. But yeah, Tidjane is Tidjane, man. Shoot the 3. I'm taking as many threes as possible. I think he shot 33s in, I think, 4 games. So shout out to Tidjane, man. Keep doing your thing, youngster.
Yeah, 13 points, 8 rebounds, was 5 of 13 from the floor. 8 of his 13 shots were threes. Seems like he has a pretty good chemistry with Miles Bridges. I know Miles is looking for him a couple of times.
Miles is looking kind of hefty.
Got paid.
He must be wearing his money to the game then.
And he was rapping all off season, man. First of all, I don't want to go on a tangent. I'm like, dude, you are in the NBA, man. You don't got to rap about that lifestyle, man. He out spitting them gangster tales. And first of all, and like, dude, with your reputation, you don't even need to be rapping.
He need to be rapping like Lecrae or something.
Yeah, he got to come out with what's his name, D1. He got to come out with positive Christian raps, man. But anyway, I think that Tidjane is going to get a lot of wide open looks. I think actually there was a play that I saw where it was like a Brandon Miller LaMelo ball screen, and Tidjane was butt naked, wide open in the corner, and I think he's going to be able to get those looks, and he's going to make them. How much are they going to, give him a leeway with his defensive lapses? We'll see. I mean, Charlotte is. I mean, they're definitely a team that I think is going to sag for Cooper Flag, or they might be chilling for Dylan.
I don't know, man. They got LaMelo is a fringe all-star, is an all-star type of talent, man. You can't keep playing for in the. I mean, he gets hurt unfortunately every year, but I feel like they almost have to make a play-in push.
Yeah,
because they have him. Brandon Miller's been playing extremely well.
Trey Mann has been really good.
They can't stay healthy, but
yeah, it's a new front office, new coaching staff. But I mean, I think there's reason to be optimistic. But there's a play that I want to talk about. He missed the shot, and you had mentioned on high pick and roll they're going to chase him off the line. I thought he had a clean look where he got a 2-dribble pull up, and he missed the shot, but Achua closed out hard. And I think if he can just knock down that shot, getting to the rim, maybe try to add that next offseason, but adding a pump fake, 2-dribble pull-up, I think that will help him when teams chase him off the line. But he did have a play. It was in isolation. It was 1-on-1 against Kolek.
Oh, yeah. But look, okay, that's twice now. That's twice they don't win at Kolek. Keyshawn George win at Kolek. Now Tidjane going at you. Come on, Kolek, man. You can't be looking like a cone out there, man.
Nah,
dude,
but
can't get big when they see you.
There's sometimes people are like, oh, ISO, I'm gonna go at him. Rookie guard. But yeah, I mean, I thought Tidjane has shown some flash. All right, let's talk about Reed Sheppard. Statistically, Reed didn't have like a big game, had 9 points, 3 assists, 2 rebounds, but I want to see him play more minutes.
Man, me too, man. Come on, man.
It's the 3rd pick in the draft, man. Let him loose. I know you probably think that you can get to the conference finals or something like that. I mean, a lot of talk about the Rockets want to make a deep playoff run, but let Reed Sheppard go.
Free Reed Sheppard, man. He does when he does play, he does some good things. 3-ball looks great. That pull-up jumper looks like it's going in every single time. But he's playing like 12 minutes a game, man. Ain't nobody trying to see that, man. Come on.
Yeah, he was 1 of 5 from 3. But what's I've noticed with Reed, where I think he's going to be dangerous, is that if he's bringing the ball up court, even if it's semi-transition, the defender is like coming up to meet him before he gets to his pull-up. And he's been able to just kind of give a simple crossover, beat the defender, and get to his pull-up, whether it's a pull-up or his floater. I mean, when I say my man looks like Mark Price out there, he looks like Mark Price was born in the wrong era. Mark Price would thrive in this era where point guards can shoot. But Reed had a pull-up 3 off the dribble. I know you saw the play where he stole the ball from Brandon Ingram, had a dunk, and the commentators were like, whoa, he's got some hops.
Man, a little basic dunk. Man,
it was a basic dunk, but, Mark Price wasn't banging out like that.
Reed got a 40-inch vertical, man. I need you to do more than that, man.
Yeah. No, he is, at least the way he tested as a better athlete than he shows. But, no, I think that Reed is going to be good. I just want to see him get a little bit more time. All right, real quick before we go to break, Stephon Castle, 6 points, 5 assists, 2 rebounds. Stephon Castle, his game isn't pretty, man. And
Yo,
the whole Brandon Roy's game was beautiful. Stephon Castle's game is not beautiful.
Ralph, listen to me. He didn't shoot well. He took 5 shots, 4 of them were threes. They were open threes. I get it. Nobody can stay in front of him. Handle is too tight. He is too strong. I think it was Pelle Larsson. He took Pelle Larsson for a ride. He was running through his chest. You didn't see the slow step like Luka where he hit Bassie for the dunk. Like, come on, man. The playmaking is there. He's a high-level passer. Catch and shoot game has to improve. And unfortunately, you playing with Wemby, the expectations are higher as a team. But, like, man, he clearly has game. And he banged out on somebody, too. Like, come on.
Off the Wemby screen, it was Jovic. It was kind of like I'm a contestant. Nah, never mind.
Listen to me. He's legit good, right?
Yeah, there was an argument in the comments about Stephon Castle and McCain, and someone said it's in the YouTube comments. Stephon Castle gets struggle baskets. McCain game looks better because I guess it's somebody that's not a Stephon Castle fan, and they always get on you about how you like Castle.
McCain is shooting like 50% on layups, man, and he doesn't get fouled. But that's not we don't have time for that, man. We don't have time.
What do you think his role is going to be this season?
I don't know, and I think he's trying to find that out. But I mean, I think primarily he's a pick and roll ball. He can play off the ball, but I don't know, man, because I mean they got Harrison Barnes. They're going to play Sohan. Devin Vassell is going to come back eventually. They still have Keldon Johnson. I mean, they have a lot of wings, and then they brought in Chris Paul. So I don't know, man, but I see the vision long term, man. I might have to take y'all to my optometrist, man, because dude clearly has game.
All right. When we return, we're going to talk about Dalton Knecht, who caught fire in the fourth quarter. We're going to talk a little bit about Cody Williams, and I thought AJ Mitchell had a good game. But let's talk about Game Time, my favorite app when it comes to purchasing tickets. But it's not just for sporting events. It's concerts, comedy, theater, and more. What I love about the Game Time app is that you can toggle this feature with all-in pricing, and it will show you the total upfront. So there are no surprise fees at checkout. I hate using other apps, and the price jumps significantly at checkout. And also on the Game Time app, you get a panoramic view of the seat, so you can see exactly where you're sitting and your view, and you can check that out in the app before you buy. Game Time also has the lowest price guarantee, or they will credit you 110% of the difference. Your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account. Use the code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Create an account. Do it today. Create an account. Use the redeem code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off. Again, download the Game Time app today. All right, last segment, Dalton Knecht. Dalton had 19 points, 2 rebounds, 0 assists. And if you watch the game, he wasn't looking to pass at all. But he caught fire in the fourth quarter. I think that he is going to play a role for the Lakers this season. But do you think opening night he's going to get the call ahead of Gabe Vincent or Cam Reddish or Max Christie, who they just paid?
I don't know. I wish I could tell you. I'm on the fence with Dalton Knecht. I think he's more of a scorer than a shooter. He didn't shoot the ball well in Summer League. He shot 36% on high volume. Even as a game that he had 19 last night, I think he had a stretch where he made 4 or 5 in a row, and he ended up shooting, 6 of 15? I think he's a volume scorer, man, and he's supposed to be able to shoot again. The sample sizes are small, so Laker fans don't come knocking on my door or anything like that. But he's shooting 26% on catch and shoot shots right now, and you're playing with LeBron. You're not going to get that same volume. Now again, he does cut. He does rebound. He does get out in transition. But right now, he looks like a volume scorer. So I don't know. What does it look like when he gets 5 shots a game? If he goes 1 for 5 consistently, you can't play like that for the Lakers.
Well, I'm going to read these numbers out to you. He played 21 minutes, 19 points, got up 15 shots. He got up 13 threes in 21 minutes. That's Tidjane Salaun type numbers. You might have to add him.
And they're running some stuff for him that JJ used to get ran for him. Like, I mean, maybe not all the action shooting he's gonna get, but like he's missing wide open jumpers, and he missed them in summer league. So like, I want to know, is he a shooter or is he a scorer? And like, we know he's not passing the ball, but I mean, you know, that's kind of like expected. They didn't draft him to pass, but he needs to be able to knock down open shots. But again, sample size is small.
Yeah, I'm just going by the lineups or minutes from what I saw yesterday. He was the only one off the bench to play over 16 minutes. Gabe Vincent played 15 minutes, but he was 0 for 5, 0 points. Cam Reddish played 8 minutes, was 1 of 1. He had 3 points. Max Christie played 16 minutes, was 0 for 3. So Knecht definitely made the most of his opportunity. Again, opening night, I wonder which direction is JJ going to go, because I think that Knecht does show the potential to bring some offensive firepower. And I think that if he can knock down shots, I think eventually as the season goes on, I think he's going to be a better three-point shooter. But I think he can help the Lakers if he's knocking down shots at a respectable rate. He's cutting to the basket, getting out in transition. To me, he's there. I'm not a Cam Reddish fan, but in theory, Cam Reddish is supposed to be like the athletic guy that can. Well, I don't ever want to say he's 3-and-D because he was, to me, he's never been a shooter. I'm not a Cam Reddish guy by any means. I would go with Dalton Knecht over Cam Reddish. I just think if they lean defense, then they may go with Reddish. If they want offense, then they may go with Knecht.
He's going to get his opportunity because the job is available, but I'm just saying he hasn't done anything, not anything, because I mean, the volume is there, but he hasn't like looked great to me. He hasn't looked good to me. And again, just because those guys ahead of him aren't, you know, getting them, aren't doing well, he's going to get an opportunity. But, you know, that's the toughest job in the world is being a 3-and-D guy for the Lakers, man. They ran Malik Beasley out of town. He turned around and shot 40% the next year. They sent Taurean Prince packing. He followed Darvin Ham in Milwaukee. I mean, they have a history of, you know, guys not shooting well under that pressure of those Laker lights. So we'll see.
Yeah. No, I think he's outplayed. I think he's outplayed all of those guys that are ahead of him. Cam Reddish hasn't really done anything. Max Christie had a game where he had 12, but it was like 3 of 14 from the floor. I mean, Knecht hasn't been the most efficient either. I don't know. I'm curious to see. All right, let's talk about Cody Williams.
Man, how many shots did he take, man?
Take a guess.
3. How many
he had 6 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 of 3 from the floor in 20 minutes.
All right, man. Listen, the 4 rebounds and the 4 assists.
It's actually 3 assists.
3 assists. 4 rebounds, 3 assists. That's absolutely great. 3 shots in 21 minutes after following up a game where you had 17. That's my issue with Cody Williams, man. It's up and down. Like Hell Rail said, man, he's roller coasting. You know, he's just not assertive all the time. I saw my man, I think his name is Tony Jones. I think he's at Utah. He was like, man, when Cody Williams figures out how good he is, he's going to be really good. And that's my issue with Cody.
Yeah, I also want to see how he's used in the rotation. In theory, because he was the top 10 pick and the Jazz, you know, are playing for the future, they're going to have to play him. But it's probably going to be at the expense of Johnny Juzang, who's played well, maybe even Bryce Sensabaugh. So that's something that I'm going to be interested in. All right, let's go to Yves Missi.
I think it's Yves, man. Yves St. Laurent.
I've seen, all right, 9 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. His game is not visually pleasing to me at all.
Hey, but listen, though. He had a play where he blocked Şengün's shot. sprinted down the court.
Yeah.
Rim roll. I think he got a layup off of that. In traffic, he's not finishing pretty. He's not gonna finish well in traffic. But if he catches the ball cleanly above the rim, we know he's gonna block the shot. I just don't understand that pick because they need somebody who can contribute right now, and it looks like they're just gonna play 5 small guys in New Orleans. But I mean,
I understand the pick. To me, it made sense. They need size. I mean, they don't have any size. If he can provide some type of defense, I mean, they're in the West. You imagine they want to be a playoff team. They're going to need some size.
They need size that complements Zion. He doesn't complement Zion.
Well, if they run some 4-5 pick and rolls, Zion has the passing, and you know this. You're a Zion guy.
Zion
to find him on lob.
But Zion is still going to have his ISOs, and if we got Yves in the dunker spot, I mean, look, my man Herb Jones is a much improved shooter, but I'm still going to give him that shot. I just don't feel like the spacing is going to work.
Yeah, I think they can. I think he's going to be able to help and contribute. He just got to stop fouling. He had 5 fouls.
I had it in my notes. He was hacking, and he was hacking at Baylor too. I think he's just a couple years away, man.
He's still raw, but I think he can provide something, at least give them something this season. I know Şengün tried to test him, had him out at top of the key, ISO.
Oh, no, that's not the place you're going to get him because his feet move.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I think he can help. He can move his feet. He can block shots. Like I said, Şengün tried him on the ISO, not on the block. It's like, man, I'm taking him off the dribble. Got it smacked.
Don't try Missi on the perimeter. His feet move. His arms are long. But if you get him on the block, you raise an eyebrow, he's up there checking banners, checking lights because he's going to jump for everything. And he's a fouling machine. But yeah, now his feet definitely move on the perimeter though.
Speaking of jumping, AJ Mitchell, I thought he had, he showed some flashes. I'm a big AJ Mitchell fan. He had 9 points against the Nuggets, but there was a play where he did like an eyebrow head fake, and he had Zeke Naji. He had Zeke Naji in the clouds, and then he was able to go by him and finish. AJ is a player, man. I like him.
Hold on, Ralph. What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
What do you mean? He got a layup every single time he touched the basketball.
I know, but he's a guy that I just wish he were in a different situation.
Oh yeah, okay. I thought you were questioning his game. That's why.
No, I'm a AJ Mitchell fan. Like I said in a previous episode, I had him as a first round pick, probably all the way up until right before the draft, and then I had him in the second round. Unfortunately, I was right about the range that he was getting picked in, but me personally, I would have taken him in the first round because he's a guy that gets right to it. He can finish. He's not like a crazy athlete, not playing above the rim, but I haven't seen anybody that's able to stay in front of him. And he's just so crafty. And
he gets to it. He gets layups. If he doesn't get a layup, he gets a foot in the paint every single possession. I had him, no BS. I had him mocked to Denver or Minnesota, back and forth the majority of the year. He could absolutely be used in Denver. I know they went with my man Deron Holmes. I'm still a Deron Holmes fan. They went with backup big, but AJ Mitchell, nobody can stay in front of him. Yeah. And he's left-handed. He's slippery. It's not like some crazy handle. He just understands angles. Man, free AJ Mitchell too while we're freeing these rookies because he's just not going to get the opportunity in Oklahoma City.
Yeah, and when he gets a ball screen, he is killing that switch. I mean, whether it was Dario Saric,
nobody can stay in front of him, man.
PJ Hall, Tyson Hunter, they all had an opportunity, and he got right by them on the switch. But yeah, I think he's going to end up like Trey Mann. Trey Mann was buried in the bench in OKC. Trey Mann has played extremely well in Charlotte. Even though my man dressed like it's 2003, he might as well just get the chin strap beard, the baggy shorts, the Timbs. He might as well get that Joe Budden the first album beard, man.
That's crazy.
Anyway, I like Trey. I like Trey Mann.
Yeah, man. Free AJ Mitchell, man. Like I said, he gets a layup every time he goes to the basket, and he finishes.
If I'm the Spurs, I think that's a guy that I would have tried to make a move for. If I'm the Nets, that's the team with like the dumping ground in a sense. I'm calling for AJ Mitchell. I'd even trade a future pick for AJ Mitchell because I think it's a first rounder. I like him over Dariq Whitehead anyway. Well, that wraps up this episode of the Locked On NBA Big Board Podcast. Again, this is Preseason Rookie Report Volume 7. We're coming at you every day, at least for the next week or so until the regular season starts. But before we wrap this episode up, I want to let you know that I appreciate each and every listen, and thank you for making the Locked On NBA Big Board Podcast your first listen of the day. Now, please check out Locked On NBA season previews on Locked On NBA. From the East to the West, from the contenders to the pretenders, it's a 6-episode series with everything you need to know about the NBA season. You can find it on Locked On NBA, which you can find on YouTube or wherever you listen to your podcast. Once again, it's Rafael and James, and we are out of here.
Free AJ Mitchell.